Right, here I am. I'm going to be making the spacers for the frames. Now I've got a strip here that's 27mm wide. That allows me a millimetre for the horn blocks and a millimetre for the thickness of the frames, or just over a millimetre, and half a millimetre of washers on each side, which will keep the wheels away from the frames just a little bit. There's no need to have any side play on the two drivers. All the play can come nearer the back on the trailing wheels on the bogie. So what I've done here, I've got it the wrong way around, is we start at the back according to the drawing. I've got one here that will do the back frame fixing. So I'm just going to put an R on there so I know where it goes. The next one is going to be a U-shaped one for the bogie. Then I've got another U-shaped one which I'll use here as the bottom of the firebox, and then I can add the ash pan and such like to it anyway. So I'll put an FB on there for the firebox, and then the next one is going to be a threefold one which will come along the front, down as a cylinder front and along as a cylinder bottom. So I'll put that as a cylinder block. Now I just need to cut one here. I'm not quite sure where it goes, but it will go somewhere around here for the motion bracket. So I reckon if I cut it 15, by the time it's had a bit of edging put on it for top and bottom to make it look like a casting, it's going to be somewhere handy. So if I just spin it round, it's easier going to be doing it this way to start with. 15mm. So on my last scribe line is there. So it's going to be a bit tricky just to hold it, so make sure the square is on there square. Make sure that dimension is just about right. Then I'm going to lightly scribe it. I can't put any force on it because it's hardly holding. Right. So now I've got a mark. I can carry on and make it deeper. Now where the fold lines are going to be, we've got a cut there, a cut there, that's going to be a fold, and that's going to be a fold. So I just use a square file on its corner and gently open it up, and the same with that one. Now as that's going to be the bottom of the firebox, and that's going to be the back of the firebox, and that's going to be the top. It's going to be a tighter than 90-degree angle between those two. So I really need to find my 3-square file. And use a 3-square one here, which will allow me to fold it over 90 degrees. I really dislike using this 3-square. It doesn't work so well in the groove as the square. So we should have a fold there, a fold there. That's a cut. So the firebox bottom is going to be that one and that one. So we'll gently just open those up. The deeper you do it, the easier it becomes to fold. It's just like having an X line on a kit. Sometimes they need opening up, but this way, because you're making the kit yourself, you need to do them all the way. And it's just easier to start with a squawker. It gives you somewhere to follow, because filing like this isn't very accurate. but having somewhere to follow without pressing too hard, you can get yeah, well, you get a nice V that you can fold your parts around. Now, so we've done that. That's going to be the cut. There's two folds in the bogey one as well. So let's just gently start. It's like all things, if you press too hard to start with, it tends to go haywire, as you notice. It's just a case of being delicate to start with, really. Something that I can't always be accused of. That's being delicate. My wife will tell you very much the same. Now, that's not going very well at all, so let's just give it another couple as it goes with that. That's better, now it's got something to follow. See, so much easier. Now the last one is just a little L-shaped rear bracket. Now again, that one's not going very well, so let's just deepen it out slightly. Now this last one, the rear one, I may put a very slight taper on it, just to aid the movement of the rear bogey, because I think what I'm going to do, in fact I know, is I'm going to do a 3-point suspension on the kit. These will be a internal beam to rock, and it will be a fixed pivot in the middle of the bogey, but I'm going to hinge the bogey from here over the centre leading wheel, so it actually makes it a fairly long wheelbase 060 or 062, and then there'll be a bit in the bogey that will actually support the bogey in the centre and allow it to spin about the pivot point here. That's my theory at the moment. I think it will give us enough movement with a little bit of tapering on the frames here, which won't show so much, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it will be enough to give us a nice smooth running loco round reasonable curves. Anything 6 foot or thereabouts is good enough for me. So going back to these, let's just run the squawker through the cuts again, remembering which ones are cuts. Just to make life a little bit easier and get it in the groove. You don't want to make too many grooves. And again, I've gone for 18th thou nickel for this. I was going to originally do it in 10th thou, which was the original one I cut. Then I thought better of it and make it the same thickness as the other material. So I was going to say, I don't know where my smooth jaw pliers are gone, but they're hiding here. So let's just gently snap them off where we want them to be, like so. that's a motion bracket, so we better put an M on that so I know where it is, otherwise if it's got nothing on it, it will go in the scrap pile. Now the rear one, we just fold up. I think really I should have done that in the vise rather than with the pliers, but never mind, let's just do this one. There we go, let's see whether it's any better. It's slightly better, I just need to adjust it round a bit more to make it more of a right angle. And according to that I just need to deepen them very slightly. Let's get the right file. They weren't bending quite as crisply as I thought they were going to. So, now that one needs to be bent to 90 degrees, so it will sit something like that, and then that one needs to be bent over 90 degrees, so it sits something like that. That can all be adjusted in a moment. Now, let's just do the firebox one slightly deeper. It'll just help make it all a bit crisper, less chance of it all wandering off and making a pig's ear. So, let's get the pliers, fold it up to 90 degrees or thereabouts for now. I'm just doing it by eye at the moment. My eye is generally good enough to get about 90 degrees. I can go and sort out the rest just prior to assembly where I can tap it up, adjust it, and then you see that one will go there as the bottom of the firebox. Probably need a little bit of cutting around the front just to let the motor in, and then the ash pan can be made and attached to the bottom of it. All nice and simple, yet everything will be nicely fixed. So what we have is, I don't know whether you can see all that in the camera, and of course that one's not going to stand up because there's nothing to let it stand up. So that's basically all that happens. So hopefully that was of use to you, and when I get onto something else interesting I'll make another video.